Greece is under pressure. Wars in Syria and the Middle East have pushed thousands of asylum seekers toward Europe, and Greece has become the gateway. But the country was unprepared for the more than 850,000 people who arrived on its islands last year. Now, Athens has come under increasing fire for failing to guard the external borders of Europe's passport-free Schengen zone. There's even talk of kicking Greece out.
I believe it's clear that if it is not manageable to protect the external EU border, meaning the Greek-Turkish border, then the Schengen external border will move towards Central Europe. It is demanded that Greece has to strengthen its resources as soon as possible and accept help.
Last month, the country called in the army to complete 5 new reception centers on its islands to fingerprint and process everyone. But Greece is still emerging from an economic crisis and says the arrangement is unfair. Locals also fear the islands may turn into permanent migrant camps. But Greece's alternative to policing EU borders is to leave Schengen, a move that could make life harder for Greek authorities and unravel one of Europe's proudest achievements. The signing of a treaty to abolish internal borders was a defining moment in the history of the European Union, a step toward the federalist dream of creating a European superbloc. Today, 26 countries are signed up to Schengen, but only members with external borders, like Greece, are obliged to control immigration. According to the code, free travel must be ensured, but temporary border controls are allowed if a member cites a threat to its security. During last year's migration wave, countries like Norway, Denmark, Austria, Germany, and France exercised that right. But fears about terrorists entering the EU unscreened and carrying out attacks have prompted calls for more internal surveillance. This year, the EU is preparing to amend Schengen rules to allow systematic checks on travelers deemed suspicious for up to 2 years. Many people question how Schengen can survive alongside the EU's current asylum rules, which force refugees to stay inside their country of entry. But Europe may be prepared to protect Schengen at any cost, even if it comes down to ejecting one of its members. Greece says it's determined to help control the flows, but says Europe needs to keep its end of the deal. In 2015, EU countries agreed to relocate 160,000 refugees from Greece and Italy, but so far only 330 people have been moved. Ahead of scheduled talks about refugees in March, EU leaders are downplaying the threat of a Greek expulsion from Schengen.
Excluding Greece from Schengen solves none of our problems.
But Greece believes it's shouldering this crisis alone anyway. And this summer, many thousands more refugees are expected to arrive from Turkey's shores. Sandra Gathmann, The Newsmakers.